So you understand? I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Let's say, for example, now you are more like, okay, a geologist who has worked in the industry, maybe oil and gas industry for a very long time, blah 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 blah. You can decide to work with NSELF, where they take seismic data and some other things to boost the exploration oil exploration performance, to increase the barrels per day we are exploring. So you understand? But basically, one thing about it is you can work across board, but your experience will determine where you feel like you want to work.
Okay.
So I don't know if I've answered your
All right.
question partially.
Yeah, so in other words, I'm asking this because I came across the question where they asked, where which of our subsidiaries or something would you like to work in? So is this is just to better understand if that question is, you get what I'm trying to say. So I guess
Yeah,
the
definitely,
first thing here would probably be to understand each of the subsidiaries and see which one best fits our roles or our experience.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. So what I would just advise is, it would have been easier for some of these subsidiaries to my own understanding. But what I would just advise is to be on the safer side. When you go to the Nnpc website, you see where we have our businesses. When you check that our businesses section, they will list all the 5 divisions they have. When you click on those 5 divisions, they will bring all the subsidiaries they have. Then you can do where to click on those subsidiaries. They will take you to another page where you see what the subsidiary is all about, what they do, how they came to be, their mandates, and all those things like that. I think that would help you in your own research.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. Mr. Timileyin.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for the time. Yeah, I have a question. While checking the website's board of directors list and the senior management team list, I saw two different lists. There were some names under the board of directors and not present in the senior management team. And there were some that
Okay.
had something like non-executive director and some had executive vice president. So is there a difference between non-executive director and executive vice president?
Okay. I said something earlier. I said the divisions are headed by EVP, that's Executive Vice President. So just take that as one. Now, two is pre PIA, that's Pre Petroleum Industry Act. NNPC was a federal government parastatal, so there's nothing like board of directors. But when you're operating under CAMA, that is the Civil Allied Matters or something like that. That's Hello, Companies and Allied Matters Act of 2010. You understand? We've all heard, I think we are all conversant with what we call CAC. That's corporate something something that has to do with registering company and some other things like that. Hello.
Yes, can you hear you, sir?
Yes.
You. It's on.
Okay. So now the thing is, post PIA, that's Petroleum Industry Act, when NNPC became a full-fledged limited liability company, become a limited liability company, you need to have a board chairman and you have to have board of directors. So that is where you have all these non-executive directors coming in and a board director or a board chairman rather. So they are like basically the board where the GCEO, that's Malam Mele Kyari, is reporting to. So you understand? The board of directors in the organogram of companies is a little bit higher, where the CEO or the chief executive reports to them. So you understand? They are like representative of shareholders and some other things like that. So basically, that is what that is all about. But I believe when you read more about the Petroleum Industry Act or CAMA Act, you understand some of these terminologies. So I'm just trying to break it down as I can. I don't know,
That's a lot
but
of.
you still need to
Please,
make
can
your
I
own
say
research
something?
about that. Yes, yes, you can.
Um, Based on that, so
All right. Miss
Excuse
Kim,
me, please.
yeah, I'm with you.
Mr. Adenusi, please can you mute your mic? It's distracting us, please.
Okay. Please, before we move further, I remember I think 2 days ago we're having a discussion on the group about upstream, downstream, midstream. So let me just, for the benefit of those that were not on the group or that didn't upstream, we might have someone here that has better understanding than I do. You can also chip in. But to my own understanding is, when you talk about upstream basically is has to do with exploration and production. Exploration and production. That is basically what happens in upstream. That is what you do is the drilling. What happens in midstream is basically storage and transportation of crude oil. That is the raw material. Storage and transportation of crude oil, the raw material. Now, the downstream is where we have the refining and marketing. You is also involved in. So, but basically, NNPC do not have a full-fledged subsidiary for midstream. So, I guess that has answered any question anybody might have in mind about what we're discussing in the group. So, if we don't have any other questions, can we move on to the next part that has to do with the refineries and some other parts of the refineries? Please thumbs up if you don't have any questions so we can move ahead. All right, all right. So, well, we are all aware that NNPC has just 3 refineries. So, 3 refineries. We have the Port Harcourt refinery. Please, are you all with me?
Yes.
We are with you.
So, we have the Port Harcourt refinery. We have the Kaduna refinery and petrochemicals. Then we have Warri refineries and petrochemicals. Please, let's take note of something. When they call something refinery and petrochemicals, it means that carbon black and the likes. So you understand? So Port Harcourt refinery do not have a petrochemical complex, but Warri and Kaduna refinery have what we call a petrochemical complex. So please, let's keep that at the back of our mind. So now let me start with Port Harcourt refinery. From my own research, Port Harcourt refinery was commissioned in 1965 and it was constructed by Shell BP with 12 million pounds as the initial cost of constructing that refinery. Please, can you all hear me?
We can hear you clearly.
Please, can you come again?
But can you please
I said
it again?
I should come again.
Yes, please.
Okay. I said Port Harcourt refinery was commissioned in 1965 and it was built with 12 million pounds by Shell BP. Do we have that loud and clear?
Yes, clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, as at 1965, the 12 million pounds only constructed what we know as 60,000 barrels per day. That is the old Port Harcourt refinery, 60,000 barrels per day. Sure you understand? By Shell BP. Now, in 1985, an additional 150,000 barrels per day was constructed with 850 million, making a total of what we have today as 210 barrels per day. So now that has answered the question we had during our last session of 150, 60, 210. So basically, in 1965, Shell BP constructed a 60,000 barrels per day refining complex with 12 million pounds. Then to expand that particular Port Harcourt refinery, an additional 150,000 barrels per day refining capacity with 850 million naira was built in 1985. So you understand? But now, as we know it, some of these refineries are not working. So in 2021, the federal government gave Technomont SPA, which is an Italian company, was awarded a $1.5 billion contract for repairs and overhauling. So it is as a result of that 2021 contract to Technomont that gave birth to the revival of what we know as Port Harcourt refinery today. I think the 60,000 barrels per day complex was the one that was revived. Though I'm not sure yet, but I'll still make findings. But basically, Technomont got a $1.5 billion contract to overhaul the whole 210 barrels per day. Sorry, please, can you hear me? Are you with me?
We are with you.
Yeah. So now, for every refinery, they must have what we call a power plant. Now, as far as Port Harcourt refinery is concerned, Port Harcourt refinery can generate 16 megawatts of electricity. But because it is using steam turbines, so it can also generate what we have as 480 tons per hour of steam at 42.7 bar. That is a high pressure steam. So they are using steam turbines. So they are using steam to generate electricity. So Port Harcourt refinery has the capacity to generate 16 megawatts at 480 tons per hour. Is that clear? Are you all with me?
Yes, please.
Okay. So now moving on to Kaduna refinery and petrochemicals. Now, Kaduna refinery was commissioned in 1976 and it was built with $525 million. Now, all these things I'm quoting, you can find them, I think, in the Bureau of Public Enterprise, or so BPE. You can check that online. You get some of these quotations there. So you understand? So I'm getting this directly from the government website. That's
Please, can
Bureau
you
of.
come again?
Hello?
She said, "Can you try to explain what you've just said? Can
About
you come
Kaduna
again?"
Refinery.
Okay, I said Kaduna Refinery and Petrochemicals was commissioned in 1976, and this refinery was built with $525 million. Now, Kaduna Refinery, as at 1976, was only built with a capacity of 50,000 barrels per day. Are you getting me? So in 1976, only 50,000 barrels per day was built and commissioned with $525 million. Now, as at 1983, the second train of the refinery of another 50,000 barrels per day, the second train was also commissioned with another 50,000 barrels per day, around $586 million, increasing the refining capacity to 100,000 barrels per day as at 1983. Now, in 1986, the first train of 50,000 barrels per day was expanded to 60,000 barrels per day, increasing the total capacity to what we know it today as 110 barrels per day.
Please recall your last statement.
Huh?
Can
Sorry,
you
is this
recall
for
your
the
last
Warri or for the Kaduna?
statement?
For the Kaduna refinery, I'm explaining. Let me come again. What I'm saying is, for Kaduna refinery, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
I said for the Kaduna refinery, if you check online, Kaduna refinery and petrochemicals capacity, they will tell you 110. So you understand? But what me I'm trying to do now is break it down for you to know, to tell you exactly how we have that 110. Can you hear me? So now I said in 1976, the first train of Kaduna refinery was built with 525 million with a 50,000 barrels per day refining capacity. So as of 1976, Kaduna refinery was just 50,000 barrels per day refinery. Then in 1983, the second train of another 50,000 barrels per day was built with 586 million, increasing the total refining capacity of Kaduna refinery to 100,000 barrels per day. Then in 1986, the first train, that first 50,000 barrels per day that they built in 1976, was now expanded to 60,000 barrels per day. Now, if you add that 60,000 barrels per day plus the second 50,000, you have what we have today as the 110 barrels per day refining capacity of Kaduna refinery. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Hello, do you all understand?
Yeah, so what you're saying in essence is that Kaduna Refinery 19 the first train in 1976, that's 50,000 barrels per day, was expanded in 1986 to 110. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes, exactly. Now, now, Kaduna refinery has the capacity to generate 56 megawatt of electricity with 600 tons per hour of steam. Now, in the same vein, in 2021, Daewoo Engineering and Construction, a South Korean company, was awarded a turnaround maintenance of $740 million for repairs and turnaround maintenance in 2021. Are we together on the same page?
No, please. Which one are you explaining now?
Kaduna refinery.
Okay. Said who? That's why I'm confused.
I said in 2021, Daewoo Engineering and Construction, a South Korean company,
Okay,
was
okay.
awarded a contract of $740 million to do turnaround maintenance on Kaduna refinery. Are we on the same page?
Yes.
Okay. Now, last one, Warri Refinery and Petrochemicals. Warri Refinery and Petrochemicals was constructed in 1978 at a cost of $478 million at 125 barrels per day refining capacity.
Please come again for the Warri.
Warri Refinery and Petrochemicals was commissioned in 1978 at $478 million with a 125,000 barrels per day refining capacity. Do we have that? Are we on the same page?
What, please?
You said commission 1976. I thought you said 8 first.
78, 1978.
Please
Are
come
we on
again.
the same page?
Please, how many barrel per day?
125,000 barrels per day. Are we on the same page?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it was commissioned in 1978 with a refining capacity of 125,000 barrels. Now, in 1988, the petrochemical complex of Warri Refinery was commissioned with a production capacity of 13,000 million tons per annum of polypropylene and 18,000 million tons per annum of carbon black. Now, polypropylene is like the raw, this is they use for plastic and some other things. All these plastic bottles, water bottle, plastic cup, plastic chair, all these things like that, they are all, their raw material is gotten from crude oil, polypropylene.
Please, can you
Are we on
go?
the same page?
Please, can you go again on the petrochemical?
I said in 1988, the petrochemicals complex of Warri Refinery was commissioned with a production capacity of 13,000 million tons per annum of polypropylene and 18,000 million tons per annum of carbon black.
All right,
Now,
Mr. Salaudin, can you hear me?
yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, sir. So, do you have any page for this? Probably any material on this? If you can just try to take a screenshot so we can send it on the group. What do you think?
They can get it on the PPE website. That is Bureau of
Okay,
BPE,
you know what?
BPE.
Can you try to send me the link, the direct link, so I will just forward it to the group maybe after the class.
Okay, no problem.
You can, so that will be very easy. So they will find everything there, right?
Yes.
All right.
That's the details of the refineries and their capacities.
Refineries. Okay. All right.
Sorry, excuse me, Mr. Saloti, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm with you.
I wanted to suggest, just in line with what Charles said, right? Is it possible for you to maybe share this material you have right now so that, to aid this process? People are asking questions all over again because they're trying to take down.
Yeah, I said
But
there's a
Okay.
if you have,
See,
he's going to
okay,
yes,
let's do this way. I did a
okay,
jot down.
yeah,
Of everything I'm telling you now. So maybe I will just snap this
scan
place
it
up.
and send. Yeah.
Yes, I will scan it and send. then we can have it in the group instead of jotting.
Exactly. Thank you.
Please, not only this part, please can just help us jot everything that you've been saying on the
Ah, there are some
Please,
sensitive
I'm not in the
information
group.
in the
Oh,
list.
So, Mr. Sir, okay, Lord Impela, can you hear me?
yes.
You said you are
I'm
not
not
on
in
the
the
group,
group.
right?
Oh,
Please,
yes.
Okay. I'm going to drop my number now in the comment section. So just reach out to me. So I'll definitely add you on the group. So, Mr. Salaudin, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm with you.
I've been battling with the recording for the past 40 minutes now, but it's active now and it's currently on 27 minutes. You get so
Okay.
I don't know how you're going to do it. We have 7 more minutes to go.
After
Probably
we finish this session,
this one we'll join the last one, right?
then the last one, I'll
The
do a
last
recap.
one,
Then
a
we'll
recap.
do a
Thank you
recap
very much.
and question and answer.
Yeah, thank you very much. Because I noticed people are trying to join and it's really affecting my system. Like I kept adding, I need to add people in
Okay,
and it's
no
not really
problem.
encouraging. It's not really encouraging. People are more than 100 trying to join.
All
So
right, no problem.
I have to just leave some people outside. Right. So
So for
yeah, go ahead, please.
for Warri refinery, the electricity generating capacity is 125 megawatts with 545 tons per hour of steam. Now, also in the same 2021, Saipem SPA, an Italian company, was also awarded a repair contract of $897 million to repair and do a turnaround maintenance in Warri refineries and petrochemicals. So that is just a brief on what we have about refineries. So now, in the next 6 minutes and in the next session, we'll be having what we know as question and answer. So please, the floor is open for questions.
Mr.
Let's keep it
Salaudin.
coming. Yeah,
The question
Miss
I want
Fatima.
to ask is, going through some websites online, I saw that there are different refineries. You mentioned just three refineries. I saw the one of Dangote. Those ones, I didn't know refineries.
Okay, now
The one
there we
of
have it.
Dangote, Upper Refinery,
Okay,
Dupont
I'm coming, madam.
Mixing, those ones.
We have a lot of refineries in Nigeria. We have Dangote Refinery, we have Aradel Refinery, we have I think there's one again in Akwa Ibom, a modular refinery or so like that. So and we have the Warri refineries and petrochemicals, the Kaduna refinery, the Port Harcourt refinery. But the one we are concerned about presently, you understand, is the one that is under the direct control of Nnpc. Or should I say that is fully owned by Nnpc? Should you understand?
Okay, thank you very much. I
Exactly.
get that.
So,
I
but you
get
see, all
Thank
these
you.
Dangote refinery, Aradel and Co like that, they are private owned refineries. So very soon we'll be having Boa refinery, Siemens refinery, Baker Hughes will be building their own refinery. I think Sterling Oil too is planning to do their own too. A lot of other new refineries are coming up, but basically the ones owned by Nnpc is what we are discussing here, which is just three: the Port Harcourt, Warri, and Kaduna. So please, any other question?
Thank you.
You're welcome, ma.
Since Salaudin, these three refineries owned by NNPC, are they all in operation currently?
Currently, we have just Port Harcourt online. The rest are still under maintenance.
Okay.
Or should I say are still under repairs and maintenance. And one thing is, all these refineries we've mentioned, none of them actually operated at full capacity. None of them before they shut down. None of them operated at full capacity. So you understand? But Port Harcourt is online. A train of Port Harcourt is online. Then we have other trains under repairs. So that is why you can see that the petrol price is coming down, because now we have a competition between Dangote Refinery and Port Harcourt Refinery. So you understand? So, and we hope other refineries too will come online very soon, which will be to the benefit of the masses, where we have petrol price continuously coming down. So that is that. Any other question?
Yes, good evening. Mine is not even
Good evening,
not a
ma'am.
question. Yes, thank you so much for the session. They said we have like three refineries. The last I heard, we have four. I don't know if you
Okay.
can. Yeah, four. I think we have like three in Port Harcourt. We have the new and the old. So I think these are the questions that when they ask us and we say three and we're not sure. I think it's four. They have the old and Port Harcourt. They have like two refineries, and then they have the Warri
Okay.
and
Um, if you were actually following me while we were discussing this, um, we have KPRC, we have WRPC, and we have uh, PHRC. Now, basically, NMPC has just three refineries. Now, Port Harcourt refinery is not two; it's just one. It just has two different trains. One is 60,000, one is 150,000. But both of them are under Port Harcourt refinery. And I think I think LMA side, for those staying in Port Harcourt, I think they may know that area very well. So basically, it's just a new train and an old train. And even both of them are still old because none of them was built in 2000s. They were built in the 90s. Sure, you understand? Because the first train of Port Harcourt refinery, 60,000 barrels per day, was built in 1965. The new one of 150,000 barrels per day was built in 1985. So it's just two trains, one refinery. For example, now Dangote refinery. Now, when they call Dangote refinery, they say Dangote refinery is the single largest train refinery in the world, meaning the 650,000 barrels per day refining capacity of Dangote refinery is done by just one single distillation column, crude distillation column. But when you have something like Port Harcourt refinery that has two, it means that you have two different distillation columns. One has capacity of 60,000, the other had 150,000
Mr.
capacity.
Salaudin,
Yes, sir.
this call is going to end in the next